A farm management practice doesn't have to be new in order to be successful. We all know that. In fact, homesteaders from 100 years ago or more were using various species of livestock to keep their pastures in order and put food on the table for their families. Now other ranchers are taking their lead and learning that livestock diversity can be key when it comes to maintaining a healthy farm. It's a concept that's as old as the farm itself. Multi-species grazing uses different animals to target different areas of your land, with the goal of making the best use of the pasture and the animals on it.
Greater than 90% of America's industry for a long time was agriculture. And so everybody had a little herd of pigs even, sheep and goats and cattle and all these different forms of protein for meat and for milk and for fur and for fiber. And so it's been a big part of agriculture as long as humanity has existed. It's only been in the past 100 years where people have been able to really focus on raising any one species.
Ranchers like Sage Askin see the benefits in relying on more than one type of livestock. He's been employing the idea of multi-species grazing for 4 years on ranches in Wyoming and Montana. He says the key to being successful is finding the right mix of animals and available forage.
The components of multi-species grazing, just at the most basic level, for us is that we have cattle that usually most people already have on a ranch. And then on the ranches that we lease, we might run cattle, and then we'll bring in sheep that will run before or after the cattle, sometimes with the cattle. And we also have goats if we have a browse component on that ranch. And so we just try to adapt the livestock to the resource, the forage resource that's available. So if there's a lot of browse, if there's a lot of brush and things like that, we start thinking more towards having some more goats on that operation.
The proper planning and understanding what different animals offer can pay off in terms of monetary gain and environmental sustainability.
The benefits of multi-species grazing for us have been twofold: ecological and economic benefits. On a pound-for-pound basis, meaning that for every pound of body weight of animal on the range, a little critter such as a sheep and a goat will be more profitable than a bigger critter such as a cow. Now, from an ecological perspective, the various forage base that's often available to us all across the United States has various components of browse plants and grazing plants. And so we believe that extensive use of just grazing plants, like with cattle, for year after year after year, creates a shrubland that is not being grazed or used in any way. So by browsing that back and with an equal mix of sheep and goats, we're able to get a very good pasture mix of species that actually fits the range. So it's a bottoms up, from the ground up approach to management on a ranch.
There's a lot to consider when deciding if multi-species grazing is right for you. You'll need to plan for extra fencing, additional vet care, security from predators, interspecies personality conflicts, and more.
There will be people that are antagonistic towards having sheep and goats who haven't just been used to it. It's not of their own fault. And so that can be a disadvantage. Another disadvantage can be having to go out and find markets to sell those livestock that you might not be used to selling. As well, the environmental impacts. Both sheep and goats are a little tougher to winter, to carry through the winter in our tough, rugged Wyoming winters. And so that's a bit of a learning curve. Lastly, all of it is just a new thing. In essence, it requires a bit of a learning curve. Any new thing you do requires learning new ideas, new options, and that's probably the biggest thing. Is it's very challenging to learn something new.